coming before you now to introduce the next speaker, who I would not only call a dear, dear friend, but somebody I really consider a brother. And somebody I've got to know over the last year and a half, and I've called him a lot of things. Some of which I can repeat tonight, and some of which I can't. But at the top of the list is a loyal, trusted, hardworking, good man. But when I look at Boston, I look around the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I know what we need. We need a few good men. Justin took some of my campaign ideas.
We got some great stories, I'm telling you, when I was running, helping Jenn run there, you got a lot of stories, and I figured, half of what I did, I had a very rich experience, life, and I always rely on stories to, really punctuate the point. Well, I gotta tell you with Jenn, I gotta tell you a little story about Jenn. I told her at one point that during the campaign, I said, look, so if you don't hate me at the end of every night, I didn't do my job. I'm going to tell you this right now. I was sitting on the sidelines watching her grabbing the mic. Well, now she's watching me grab the mic. Now she's taking notes. She's going to be like, Justin, you need to do this and this and this and this. But I have a lot of thank yous. And, I could spend the next half hour looking across this room and saying, probably more than an hour, and introducing every single one of the people here, all my friends, relatives, and I'm going to first of all, thank all my friends here. I do appreciate it, so I'm glad you're here, to support me. Secondly, I'd like to thank my family who's over here. I want a special thanks to my mom in the back. My grandmother over here. I also like to thank God for giving me the perseverance and will that I'm going to need for the next 11 months.
All right, Justin. Good for you.
Well, as many of the speakers said, we're at a tipping point here in this state. We are. We did a great job. We laid the foundation. We have 34 reps there, and that's with some special elections in there. We doubled the amount of reps we have. And we're issued two challenges. That first challenge is very important. For a lot of people in this room, I think many of the reps, I think all of the reps maybe have been freshman reps. So we have that challenge of making sure they get re-elected in 2012. And that's just the bare minimum. If we do the bare minimum, that's what we get. And what we need to do beyond that is get more representatives in there to get some sanity in this state.
Yeah!
I'm kind of running as a reform candidate here. Now, what might be a reform candidate? Well, I'm going to break it down into football terms because our Leominster football team has done a great job and is now going to the Super Bowl. In the football game, you watch it, you see the officials, and you say, I don't like that call, I like that call, but at the same time, there's ground rules there. And you look at it, you may dispute those ground rules, but I can tell you this, they're rules, and they're there for a reason. And we have a legislature in there right now that likes to change those rules on a whim. You know, many of you can remember, we had a rule, we looked and said, you know what, if a senator cannot fulfill the obligations, it would go to a special election to the people. Then Ted Kennedy died, unfortunately.
That's bad.
Anyways, so we don't do that. However, Ted Kennedy passes away.
That's not very neighborly.
We have an open seat. What did our legislation do? They changed the rules to get, because of the healthcare initiative. They wanted to get somebody there for the healthcare initiative, so they changed the rules. We have a legislature right now that cares about the wills of the now and not the needs of the many. And this is not going to be an easy change. I can tell you that right now. It's not going to be something that I'm going to get up there and give you false promises that I'm going to go there and make a whole bunch of changes, but I can tell you this. We see roll call votes stymied, we see debates being shot down on votes. I can tell you this, I'm going to vote for debates. I want debates. Those are healthy. Roll call votes. So there's a level of accountability in our legislature that we need in order to make, to give the people, especially in Leominster and what our legislature is actually doing. And that's what a reform candidate is. Now we're going to look at jobs and economy. That's going to be a huge issue in 2012. Every single one of these reps are going to be faced with that task. Well, I'll tell you this from our legislature. Our legislature likes to put the private sector on marionette strings. And I'll give you a clear example of that. Evergreen Solar. Here we are, we give breaks to this company, and we don't give breaks to another one. It's like we play with the private sector like a marionette, and that's not the way to build a healthy economy. I can tell you this, when elected, I'm going to cut those marionette strings and set that free market out there.
All right.
Stability, an even playing field. We don't need to have a solution of government jobs being, the whole big solution to our, lack of jobs in the state. That doesn't do anything. We need stability. We need to foster an environment where our businesses want to open up in Massachusetts, want to open up in Worcester County, and most importantly, open up right here in Leominster, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Now turn to local aid and big government. You know what? I've seen firsthand over the past years of what actually happens in Leominster. You know what? If you have a community that's strong, I'm going to mention Lars Larson over here at the First Baptist Church. He has a food and clothes pantry that goes on twice a month. It's a beautiful thing. Those are the type of things we need to support. There's a winter warmers program. A liberal friend of mine actually hosts that, and it's kind of funny because what they do is they do relief to clothe the needy in the winter, and that's a great thing. These are the type of things that happen right under our feet, and it's up to our municipalities to warrant that and bring that in. And I think if we're going to improve Leominster, it starts in Leominster, not at Beacon Hill.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to bring up a controversial issue, especially recently. We have the casino bill. Now, some people love it, some people hate it. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's going to be in there, and it's going to be, we're going to have casinos in Massachusetts. But what are we going to do with that money? They're going to create some revenue that we didn't have before, but I can tell you this, that money needs to go and give it to the cities and towns, not to go into a general fund at Beacon Hill for them to toy around with it like they want. If you look at what's going on in Leominster, you understand that we need to grow this economy from the bottom up and not the top down. And we're going to have lots of issues in this campaign. And I look forward to speaking to every single one of the citizens of Leominster. We've got 41,000 people, that's going to be a tall task. I can tell you this, you probably go to a job every day, you got a boss, you're going to answer that boss, that's great. I'm actually vying for a position where I got 41,000 bosses. That's not an easy thing to do. kind of start a journey. You know what? I started this off with a story. And you know what? This is the beginning of a story. Right now, tonight, this is a story that I'll have forever. Hopefully you'll have forever. And we begin our journey for 11 months down that road and to hopefully bring a change to Beacon Hill for the better. Before you go, as I said, if I haven't seen you yet, I know there's so many people here. I look forward to seeing you again, and I definitely will see you all throughout this year. Thank you.